This is the Lydia and Spin with Lydia Lunch and Tim Dahl. Tim Dahl, welcome. You're back in Magistan.
I am. I am. And today had that school shooting, of course, and another one. And this time, of course, they're always being politicized. So this happens to be this trans woman and the right wing
Oh, yeah, one out of how many? Like every other day, it's, of course, a white male between 20 and 30. Hello.
all right. So there's that. But I mean, basically, the right wing is desperately wanting to reignite the culture war thing. And turns out, a lot of people voted on that, even though that's a pretty insane thing to vote on, I guess. I think at least.
But let's face it, almost everything they voted on, they're not going to fucking get. So if that's the one thing they're hanging their fucking hats on, good luck,
they are,
assholes.
and so it reminds me of this, like MAGA. It's kind of like 9/11 had nothing to do with Iraq. So basically, it's like that's Saudi Arabia, Osama bin Laden. So like MAGA is like, oh, I'm anti woke, so therefore I'm going to give billionaires unprecedented tax cuts. I'm going to destroy all the social services and take away my constitutional rights because I'm anti woke. It makes no sense. It's a non sequitur.
Well,
And
it's everything backwards, everything in reverse. It's like a warp. It's like a absolute consciousness and time warp.
well,
And I have
yeah,
to say, I gotta laugh because it's so fucking hideous.
I mean, where is it going? Like a mushroom cloud on the horizon? Like as long as it's not woke. Like what?
Cohen is yes, it's
what?
that's
What? It's so stupid. It makes no
where it
sense.
is. Yeah, you know what? That's where it is. That's where we're going. Well, as the Antarctic shelf is about to collapse, and that could rise sea levels by 9 feet. Oh well. And also, I was just studying some of the locations which everybody who's within a 50-mile radius of nuclear waste dump sites. I mean, of course, I've been talking about that for a long time, but it's and also because France just is going to dig up about 20,000 barrels of nuclear waste, which is in the Atlantic, which they dumped there 400 miles off the shore. So it means like not exactly in the middle of the Atlantic, but
No, not at
hey,
all.
come on, hurricanes stir it up. How about the dust storm at Burning Man? Oh,
Oh yeah.
well,
Oh yeah. I mean,
who
not just
goes to these things anyway? It's
wow.
like Glastonbury. It always rains. The bands suck. The music is terrible. You get flooded out. Now, Burning Man, it's living up to its name.
Lydia. I mean,
Yes, Tim.
especially since I knew you during some of your kind of hot flash moments, you're the real Burning Man, and
Well, thank you very much.
you don't live by any other laws but yourselves. You do whatever you want. You're on fire,
Well,
and I don't know. I don't think a dust storm would
I
take
am.
you
I mean,
down.
a dust storm. The dust storm was fucking outrageous. If you saw it sweeping through Nevada and Burning Man,
Well,
but yeah. Speaking of
it destroyed the orgy dome, which I thought was
oh, sad.
like, what you don't want a tent of like 300 hippies having an orgy.
I'm
Wow.
enjoying very much my latest summer read, which I'm halfway through after 2 days. Long haul, and it's this investigator who's gone on long haul trucking to try to discover exactly who the victims and who the killers are because there's the estimate that there's 500 truck driving serial killers, and part of the thing is does I mean truck drivers, it is the highest rate of serial killers and for any number of reasons, for instance loners, boredom, drug abuse, and then the victims. I really recommend this book. It's called Long
So
Haul.
I mean, do the military fall into that category? Because I mean, and this has all been it's been proven that there are serial killers that intentionally sign for the military to go to like the Middle East and just kind of
Well,
kill people.
that's a different kind of killer. That's
Yeah.
more of like this is that's a war whore. Yeah,
Well, I don't know if you saw this story. Speaking of death, did you read about this woman, Amy Upton of Leeds?
do tell.
Oh boy. So
Oh, the,
she's a funeral director, okay, and that particularly I shouldn't be laughing because it's so twisted. Particularly like deals with like stillbirths, and she's kind of like been trained to deal with the emotions of like a woman that
you have to
basically
if you have a funeral home.
gives birth to a dead baby.
Oh,
Anyhow, but
okay.
it turns out she's been fired a lot, and things started acting weird. Like, well, where is this baby corpse? And like she's like, oh, just come and meet me at my house. To this one mother who just kind of went through all the trauma of having a stillbirth. She goes to her house, And she's like, "Come in." What does she think? Come in. We're watching PJ Masks, which is like this British cartoon of superheroes with masks. Meanwhile, this woman, her dead baby boy's corpse is in one of those baby bouncers,
Oh,
bobbing up. The corpses are bobbing up and down in front of the cartoons, in front of the TV, and she's like, "We're watching cartoons together. You just
oh
come
my.
in." And then there's a cat scratcher thing in the corner, all torn to shreds, and there's like this dog in a cage just barking nonstop. And then she looks over, and next to her on the couch is the corpse of another baby.
Oh.
So,
Well,
yeah,
I mean, it's empathy for those that go through 9 months of torture to have a stillborn. But
this is a
I have
horror
to
movie.
say, it might be better than going through 18 years or 80 years of horror birthing another human being. I just my opinion. Whatever. How I
So Amy
it's tragic.
Upton, she's been fired, and they're investigating that. But yeah, there's been all types of stuff. They're also investigating since 2022 till it still is happening this summer. Mysterious orbs. There's been 8,000 sightings. These cluster orbs that are hanging around military airports, like in upstate New York,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, Connecticut,
Well,
California,
and
Arizona.
that's how good our intelligence department, now called the Department of War, as we're not going to call the Department of Defense, is so good. I mean, look, mysterious orbs. I was actually just watching uh Skinwalker Ranch about
What's
this
that?
place.
I don't know what that is. Tell me.
Well, okay, so a
A
Skinwalker, the
reality show,
Navajos.
right? Oh,
Well, no, yeah, the Navajos thought that a Skinwalker, it could be like an evil character that can take the shape of an animal or a human. For instance, cattle mutilation. So Skinwalker Ranch is this 512-acre ranch in Utah, which Latter-day Saints. So this
oh
skeptic,
boy.
because it was like a lot of since 1600, a lot of weird phenomena. So this one real estate guy had it, but he sold it to another guy who's like, I'm a skeptic, but there he has an astrophysicist, a bunch of like burly dudes who are not like, it's not like ghost hunters. They have computers set up and they're investigating all, like, there's a lot of spirals, like which are a global phenomena. Spiral, I mean, like hand drawn spirals, not like crop circles, of
Okay.
which, of course, and this land, I mean, 512 acres in Utah, you can imagine, and they have like the Red Rock Mountains. But so they're filming, and then when they filter the filming, that's where they can see a lot of these orbs that you can't naturally see with the naked eye, which often just are spinning, buzzing around and then go right into the rock. Now, it's a reality TV show. I've only watched a few episodes. I got kind of bored. But Skinwalker Ranch, there's so much phenomena, and a lot of it is drones. A lot of it is weather balloons. And look, there's more things we don't know than what we do know. That's why we have the president we have. He
There should
doesn't know
be
a fucking thing.
there should be a gay porn offshoot of Walker Texas Ranger called Skinwalker Ranch.
Nice. Skinwalker Ranger. I kind of like it. I'm kind of into
God.
that.
Skin Flute
Anyway.
Ranch.
What's that?
Skin Flute Ranch.
Okay. All right. That's gone too
Simon,
far.
that's Simon
Way too
Slater's
far,
suggestion.
Simon.
No,
Really stepped over the
I
boundary.
think he watches more porn than either of us at this point. Because I mean, if I haven't done it, the last thing I want to see is watch other people do what I'm kind of
Wait,
bored with at the
so
moment.
you don't want to pay whatever it costs to go to Burning Man, to go to the Orgy Dome and see a bunch of burners. I wonder how much people have burners down you know where after that orgy.
Well,
Dome.
I mean, look, I mean, got to have money to waste, time to burn, and
Well,
a
that's the
certain.
thing. It's like you're I don't know. It's like tech guys and stuff, and then they 1 week a year they get wild.
We can Mad Max Warriors, whatever. I don't, I don't give a shit.
I can't picture you and
I can't.
Burning Man getting along.
Not when I am the Burning Man. That's
Well,
true.
but Burning Man does give me. I've never been. I never will go.
Never will.
Unless someone paid me to.
They're not going to. They don't want us.
They're not going to. So
Come on.
but it does entertain me every year when I read these stories. And there was it's like 10 years ago, because I guess they have this big bonfire at the end of the whole thing.
Yeah, well,
I was like, yay, and I was screaming.
well,
And
the
10 years
dust
ago,
might have wiped that out.
some guy on acid, I think, sprinted as hard as he could into this ginormous bonfire, and they're trying to chase him, but it was too late. And
I
there's
mean,
like a
but,
silhouette of him going into it.
the video of this dust storm is immense.
Well, not just that. So, but they also had these like kind of rainstorms, and there'd be puddles.
Yeah.
And because it's all like DIY, whatever,
dust and mud.
People are getting electrocuted all over the place. Like they're stepping in a puddle with a live wire, and they're like, oh, like that happened tons.
Ouch.
Last one. Yes.
Well, we're having the best weather in the whole country right now, so we're very lucky.
Nice.
I don't know how we're avoiding whatever disasters are everywhere else, but I'm sure there's a big one ready to come strike at any time.
We're just. I mean, hurricane season starts earlier in the Caribbean, but it's started. This is when it starts for us, and so we'll see what happens in the next couple of months.
Yeah, I mean, there's whatever. You know what? In these times of mass ignorance, violence, endless fucking war, stupidity, unaffordability on all fronts, that's when you got to start appreciating the small things like, oh, the wind feels good on my skin today.
Yeah.
Nice. That's my Skinwalker Ranch. Yeah. Oh, it's cool out. Humidity is only 60%, not 93. I'm having a good day.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta appreciate the small things when all the big things are so fucked up. And that's why we continue to rant, rage, and have a good day here at the Lydian Spin with Lydia Lunch and Tim Dahl. And our guest today, Shawn
O'Connor.
Yowie. We'll be with him in a minute. All right. Yes. This is the Lydian Spin with Lydia Lunch, Tim Dahl, and our guest today is Shawn O'Connor of Yowie and various other naughty things. How are you, Shawn?
I'm hanging in there. How about you, Lydia?
I'm doing great. Hey, what is that picture of that? Is that like some kind of devastating piranha behind you?
Piranha, don't it?
It's an anglerfish. Yeah, it's
nice.
It's weirder than a piranha in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Well, how's it weirder?
Well, it's in the deep,
look at it.
Deep sea. It's in the deep sea.
Oh, it's one of those ones that are like fucking like 1,000 feet deep or more.
Way deep, and it has like a bioluminescent lure.
Yeah, that thing.
That it tricks fish into coming toward it so it can eat it. And I don't know if you can see it, but right here on the side, that's the male. So when they mate, the much smaller male gets like attached to the female for life and is just stuck on the side of her.
I know what? I mean, I haven't had that happen yet, but there's still time.
So
I believe in you.
So it's basically the male's a parasite.
As usual.
Just like humans. Yeah.
Right. It is Shark Month. Tim and I, a couple of months ago, though, we watched The Shark Whisperer together, which we were very impressed with because we both love sharks. And anything that lives underwater, I mean, jellyfish, octopus, I'm impressed with the anglerfish behind you. So, new album at long last after 8 short years of fucking with it. Yes.
But that's the Yowie style. You guys don't release it until it's ready. And
why should you?
Some people are in a hurry, and you just want to make sure it's right and you're happy with it. And that's
some people release so many records, you never want to hear another one. And others, I've had an album that took 8 years to come out because it was lost. So that's no biggie. I mean, when it's ready, it's ready. Are you happy with it?
Found it.
I mean,
so you had to deal, and correct me if I'm wrong, a lot more remotely with this one. I mean, you have Australian musicians involved, so it's the 2025 reality of album making. People are just file sharing and making it at their own house, tracking at their own house. That is kind of the new norm. Was that process? I guess was it more painstaking or easier? What were the ups and downs?
More pain. It was exponentially more painstaking, right? So, I plan to be, and I'm on track for being the last adult in the United States to have a cell phone. So to say that
to not have one, the last to not have one, right?
Right. Yeah.
You don't have any, not even a flip phone. You don't have any form of a cell phone.
Have never had one. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm not a super big tech guy, so to say like, hey, was it a big heavy lift to like learn to record all this shit and send tracks back and forth and use shared Google Drives and all this other stuff instead of like playing rock music in a room with humans? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was jarring. It was jarring. I had to like learn the software technology and all kinds of shit that I had never messed with before.
And well, I mean,
Shawn, I use GarageBand 1 on my oldest computer. I record a lot of my vocals right into the Mac, not even using a mic. I'm like a luddite. But for me, that works. And I didn't have to learn anything. And I don't want to learn anything else. But for me, I've done so many vocals that way and so many like psychoambient soundtracks. And it's like, you can go as tech as you want. And right now it should be easier. But some of us just like to go either in the room with somebody or as basic as possible.
For
Yeah.
sure.
did you so for people that don't know you or maybe they
Yeah,
know of you but they don't know what you play drums
I play
and
drums.
you compose and um do you track your own drums in your house?
Not for the album, but
Okay.
that was like how we wrote parts together. Is each one of us recording something, sending something off, having somebody put something on top of it, changing what was underneath it before,
Oh my God.
sending it back, and sending just keep cycling things back through and through until we were like, okay, now this is a good riff. It went from like a kind of okay idea after 7 cycles of emails or whatever. It turns
Yeah,
into a servable riff. Yeah.
I mean, it's so insane because if you're writing and you're bouncing off each other as a band, particularly with the kind of music you make, if you're in this all in the same room, I like that, I don't like that. That could be all done in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Suddenly that process is hours or maybe days.
Or months or years. And why Australian musicians? So who's on this record? And it's still Yowie, correct? Who's on it?
Yes. Still Yowie, but two new guys. So Daniel Kennedy, who a lot of people would know from the band Cleric.
Yeah.
And
Great musician.
yeah, absolutely. He's done some other stuff with like Trace Bruance and those folks.
Sure.
And then Jack Tickner from Australia, and he's probably best known for a band called Basil's Kite down in Australia. And so the joke we've been going with is Yowie. I don't know if you know is an Australian cryptid. It's like a Bigfoot from Australia.
Oh,
So we've been
it's Yowie. It was Yeti in the
Okay.
Himalayas, and
Yeah.
and Yowie because the highest point in Australia is like that little red rock in the middle of the outback, right? It's not very high. So where does Yowie live in Australia?
I
He lives inside Shawn O'Connor, I think. He lives
I was about
inside
to
you.
say I gotta confess I don't think I've ever actually seen a Yowie in its natural habitat. I think it's next to the Blue Mountains, which they
I
do
think I'm
have
seeing
mountains.
one now. I
They
think
do
I'm
have mountains,
seeing
but
an original Yowie in his original habitat, but correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm gonna look up Blue Mountains, Australia, because I
But
know
how
that
did you happen upon? So, look, you say you're not that technologically, astute,
Yeah.
but you decide to record with somebody in Australia, and a big learning curve, which maybe you'll never want to do again.
Well, yeah, luckily I never have to. Now I know. Now I know how to do it, and a lot of very painful lessons learned and a lot of scars that will never go away. Yeah.
did you
Emotional and physical. Yeah.
did you ever want to smash your laptop?
Oh, hell yes. Yes, absolutely. All the time. All the time. Because, and, everybody was telling me, like, oh, you're trying to learn this. You got to get a Mac. So, like, I never had a Mac before. I was a Windows person. And so it's not that I,
Oh,
like, don't know how to use technology at all. I just don't like it much. Right.
Okay.
And so I had to fuck around with no, it's a little different key for Mac. It's kind of the same, but kind of different and shit like that forever and ever and ever. And the audio interface. And I don't know how many.
but really, once you get to, I hate to promote billionaires, but once you do have a Mac, it is a lot easier
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
lot of things,
I
and
got
they
the hang of
last a
it.
lot longer.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's better. But shit, I wish I could have learned that years ago instead of like while trying to write the album and trying to learn to record the shit. I also got to learn what the fuck a Mac is.
So, do you compose all of the music for Yowie?
Not single-handedly, no, no, no. But the band has usually been very, very heavy on like rhythm as the foundation of the compositions. So a lot of times the ideas come out of rhythm-based stuff that I come up with.
Which is
And
very
then we
interesting
elaborate.
because I mean
Yeah.
that's a very kind of rare thing. It's usually the guitar player, the bass player, or the singer. So that's a very unusual
Well,
thing.
technically, not to be a little nerdy here.
Go ahead, be nerdish.
I mean, there's
Do it.
rhythm in there's rhythm in anything. There's rhythm in a melody. There's rhythm in a riff. Those there are, but I mean, do you? What I'm going to go deeper into what you're saying. Do you start often with no pitch rhythm,
Yes.
like drums?
Yes.
So it's a non-pitch oriented rhythm. Okay, and you also do a lot of polyrhythm, complex polyrhythms, and all that stuff. Do you think polyrhythmically, or you just kind of have a rhythm like, oh, I'm going to stack this against this initial foundation?
A lot of it is tinkering, honestly. So like a lot of it is like I have like a general idea, and then I'm like, okay, what happens if I switch up these accents and put them against one another? But you're right. Like, yeah, of course, all music has rhythm of some sort. But most of the time, when you talk to someone about composition, they're going to start off and say, well, it's in this key, and this is the chord
Right.
progression. And my point is, we don't even think about that until way down
Yeah.
the road.
You do a
I
range.
don't even think of I don't even think about a key, a note, or a chord or a bridge all the way down the road. It's like a bridge. I don't want to jump off it. A chord, I might put it around your neck. A key, open the fucking door. A note, keep it on paper. I have
So
no idea.
in other words, because child abuse
Luddite.
kind of has a similar process in the way that it's arrangement first in that morphs into a song, as opposed to a song that morphs into an arrangement. And
That's
and
right.
and so that's, and there's not one way to do anything. I mean, a lot of hip hop, it might start with a lyric, but a lot of times it's just a producer starting with a rhythm, and that inspires something else. So there's not one way, and it's all can be done in any ways. And it could.
Did you ever think of just doing an all drum, or have you done an all drum record that's just all like Rhythm Mania?
I haven't.
Next, coming
The
next.
idea, yeah, I mean, there's something to it, you know. I think for the last album we had Chris Trull playing with us, and in an interview, somebody asked him about like our songwriting process, and he said, "You know, Yowie is a percussion band that has two string instruments in it," and I was like, that's a great way of saying it. It's like there are string instruments here, but a lot of times the notes are like very abstract, and they are serving to accentuate some part of the rhythm. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would say then yes, by his definition, all of them have been drum albums, but none that officially don't have
You might have to cut the strings.
yeah, yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Maybe a tuba drum record. I love the tuba, even the mini. I like the mini.
Yeah.
So tell me how much St. Louis music influenced you growing up. I mean, you have Miles Davis, you got
Yeah.
Chuck Berry, you got all
Yep.
types of rap coming out of
Is
it.
not none of it reflected in your own music,
Well,
obviously.
maybe it did.
I would say I'm going to go ahead and count Dazzling Killmen in the St. Louis oeuvre, and that
Okay.
that definitely did influence us,
Sure.
even though it's like kind of surprising looking back on it. Dazzling Killmen was like a not super popular band in St. Louis, and like I think a lot of people didn't understand what they were doing. But like having Dazzling Killmen be a local band in the town that you grow up in and going and see them on the regular, I think probably made some of the abnormal things I have gone into doing seem more normal to me, you know?
When did you first pick up the sticks?
When I was 16, I was a late
That's
bloomer.
late bloomer.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
What were you doing before that? I mean, what was so? Let's go back to like when you're 12 to 16. What was your world composed of? Horror
Hmm.
movies, books, what? Music, what?
Sci-fi books. I liked music a lot. I just hadn't really played it all that much.
Had
So
you did you have a specific kind of music or you were attracted to, or you were, what were you into?
metal and punk. So we're talking the 80s. So probably my favorite band for quite a few years, or my favorite album for quite a few years was Slayer's Rain and Blood album. I just wore the grooves out on that album. And Dead Kennedys were probably my two most listened
What
to
about
at around the time.
Voivod? Since you said you like
Oh, hell
sci-fi,
yes.
come
Oh, hell
on,
yes.
Voivod, come on.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Unfuckwithable. Yeah, absolutely.
unfuckwithable. Yeah. I have
That's
to
right.
say, Voivod, underrated. And who knows what's going on now, but that was sci-fi metal.
Yeah, Dimension Hatros and Nothing Face and stuff like that got a lot of play. Absolutely. And then No Means No. By the time I
Ah,
discovered No Means No a little later in the 80s, then that definitely became like my go-to of like kind of angry punkish stuff. Yep.
were you finding these things via collecting records, or would you go out and see the shows live, or
I
both?
was well as much as I could go out and see the shows live. Yeah. I grew up with a total dick for a dad, so I did not get
Oh,
out
you
as much.
too. So
Yeah.
you're not alone, honey.
So like a lot of times I would like plan on going to a show and then like shit would happen. I wouldn't be allowed to go. So I went as often as I could, but was being repressed until I turned 17 and got the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
man.
Yeah.
You got to
and
follow your dreams and the
Yeah.
music.
but
Got to
you
do it.
didn't get the fuck out of St. Louis. I assume you grew up in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And St. Louis, when people talk about Detroit, because Detroit, like in the late '60s, was about 2 million, and now it's about 750,000. So they're like, oh my, it's a fraction of the population. But what I read last time I was in St. Louis, that percentage gap is way bigger in St. Louis. Like and you guys were Monsanto and Purina and Anheuser-Busch and stuff, but that's all been kind of gone away in many ways. And but why? You just love it. You stuck there for your friends or your
The
familiarity.
economy, because let's
Well,
face
it's
it,
affordable. Yeah.
it's hard to live anywhere at this point.
I mean, I do still like it. I'll tell you, I was really looking at maybe moving when I got my last degree, but I
What was
was
your last degree?
PhD in clinical psychology.
We'll talk about that in a bit. Thank you. Important to me, that kind of stuff. And obviously, we're all mentally deranged here.
Yeah, getting more and more every day.
We all need help. Yeah. So you thought about it.
Yeah, but I was in the middle of finishing up writing on our second album, and I would have had to have walked away from that
Yep.
honestly in order to do it. And like that album
What
was
was that? So what was the second album called?
it's called Damning with Faint Praise.
Which did
Yep.
well. Which did kind of
Yep.
gave you. I mean, Mark from
When was
Skingrass.
your first release? Excuse me, Tim. When was your first release as
Oh, 4.
Yowie? 04.
Yep.
20 years ago.
Yeah,
21.
21.
Well, I
You're
remember.
now legal.
I remember hearing you guys first time. I was. Believe it or not, I heard you on the radio first.
What the fuck? Yeah.
Yes,
One
that's
of our
College
dance
radio?
Well, I was driving between Massachusetts and New York City, and I happened to be right in the New Haven area, and I was scanning. When I drive, I scan the radio constantly until I find something I like or really hate, just checking shit out. And you guys, I just happened to be scanning, going through New Haven, and your first album, I guess, just came out, and some show played it. I was like, who's this? And then looked you guys up, and that's that.
You're like, what the fuck is wrong with my radio?
No.
Who are these maniacs? Who are these maniacs? What was your first degree in?
Clinical. So undergraduate in psychology, then master's, then PhD. Yep. So all psychology.
Yeah.
The world
then I
needs you
was-
right now.
But then I was like,
Desperately.
done is basically what it came down to, right? So like the backstory is like we released the first album. We did not even expect the band to have an album. The fact that Skingraft was interested in us was a shock to us entirely. And then we released the album, and we got an offer to tour Europe, which was at that time in my life like a complete like pipe dream. Like it was totally unbelievable to me. And then,
which is much better and easier at any point to tour Europe than it is to tour the States. Let's face it.
absolutely, yep, big fan. But and then someone in the band fucked up pretty bad, and then the band like went into hiatus for years while we tried to find a replacement. And then so like it was a long slog of trying out guitarists, trying out guitarists, trying out guitarists, none of them working out. And then finally, we reconciled the problems that we had, got back together, and it was like almost at the finish line. And so for that degree, like you have to do like an internship and then a residency, and most people go somewhere else. And I was like, I fucking can't. I'm going to finish this fucking album. I'm going to. So like,
because there are priorities. I mean, it's sometimes there's dual priorities. Let's face it. It's sometimes not one priority. It's like you got to balance sometime more than one.
You got it. You got it. So, so anyway, so I found something in St. Louis so that I could stay and finish the album. And then now I've kind of like established.
Well, and also we stayed with you, and you have a pretty sweet setup because let's face it, you ain't going to get that in New York, honey, or in a lot of other cities. You, after being in, dug in, you got it pretty good there. And it makes a big difference that you have a nice place, even if like, oh, well, whatever the city. Look, I've lived in, Pittsburgh, which I loved for 4 years, but people think, there's only LA, there's only New York, there's only London. No, every city is what you make of it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's what you make of it. It's what you want from it. It's what you give to it. It's what there is. And, look, we have a global reality. It doesn't mean we have to be everywhere at all times. Sometimes we just got to get out, go someplace, and then you got to crawl back in here.
Also,
cozy
let's go back to this house. This house is not just nice; it's beautiful. And
congratulations, my friend. We'll be coming back. Trust.
Well, Shawn's generous, and boy, when you're touring and you're in St. Louis, and that means you've been going through a lot of other cities to get there, and what an oasis! What an oasis!
What an oasis! Thank you for that. I can't wait to come back. What an oasis!
Yeah.
Can we talk a little about your?
By the way, did you see what I'm?
Pardon
drinking?
me?
Are you drinking an Ardbeg? I can't.
Yeah. Well, I'm drinking out of the cup.
Ardbeg cup, but that's a different spirit, right?
Yeah.
It is wine o'clock, but I'm beyond the wine. I'm beyond the wine at this point. So
we kind of broed down on single malt scotches and all those conversations. Of course, that can lead me at least into some pretty interesting territories. But oh boy,
yeah,
that's a good one. How hot is it in St. Louis right now? Because it gets fucking hot as shit there.
Oh yeah, it was like 100 something a couple weeks ago. But
you got AC.
Yeah, fuck it. It broke. It's like 80s or something now.
We're having the best weather in New York right now. That I think that better than any place in the country. I don't know how long it'll last, but this is a beautiful breeze we're going through right now. So, Shawn, I want to talk to you about your degrees and your studies because I did a documentary that I'm showing around called Artist Depression, Anxiety, and Rage, which I don't have depression or anxiety. I have rage, I'm paid for, but I found it mandatory to do this because most artists, by statistics, 73%, I think it's understated, do have it. So it's interesting because I feel like in some ways, as somebody who's done public psychotherapy for my entire life, without a degree, there's no degree that would suit me except for my, gun license. We're kind of in the same field on that sense because people need help. It's a really harsh time for a lot of people. And I was just talking to my friend Ian White today, drummer of Big Sexy Noise and Gallon Drunk, who's suffering from the global issues. And I'm like, he's in my documentary. I'm like, he's like, how did you avoid I go, look, during the day, I go into the war zone. I go for statistics. I need the facts. By nightfall, fuck you. You're not obsessing my entire life. And by the way, I'm an apocalyptician, but most of my friends, Tim Dahl excluded, and Matt Nelson, and maybe Kevin Shea, they have problems just dealing with reality. Because first of all, art is a thankless job. Music is a thankless job. Writing is a thankless job. Parents are cunts. Some of them, not all, most. Either my dad is a dick or my mother or neglect or abuse or trauma or just whatever it is. Nobody told anybody how to be. And also, these traumas go so far back. We don't even know what our great grandparents did. And all of the war and all of history's agonies is in our bloodline. And not everybody can dissect why they're so fucked up, when that could be one of the problems is we inherit bad blood, which is full of abuse and trauma and war and of course love and magic and blah blah, but that's not the shit that brings us down. So, do you get down? Do you have to go to a therapist being a therapist?
Not at present, but I am. I think I'm coping by working my ass off at shit. And that, like, depending on your style of personality, that can get you pretty far. But one day you'll run out of steam. And so I'm waiting to see if and when that happens. Like right now, full bore with music, and then at my job, I work a lot of hours there, and that's like fucking pretty much it. Like by the time I'm done, well, I'll have a 11-hour day at work, then come home, play the drums for 3 hours. Then I take a shower and eat dinner, and that's about it.
Well, and it's great that you can compartmentalize to have the 3 hours of creativity, because a lot of times people have jobs that when they're done 9 to 5 or whatever hours, they're drained. So it's amazing that you're doing a job that must be really exhausting, because people are dumping their entire life's horror story on you that you're trying to help them get through. And then you got to come out. No wonder you want to beat the hell out of the drums.
I'll tell you, though, the opposite is true a lot of times, which is when you really help somebody out who's been suffering and you see like a big change in their life. It really puts the wind in your sails, and can be really motivating in a positive way. And there's days where you have more of those, and there's days where you don't. And every one where you have like something beautiful happen and you really just help someone, you got to put that in your pocket, and you got to hold on to it, and keep going back to it. Well,
and really, a lot exactly. And in showing this documentary, Artist Depression, Anxiety, and Rage, a lot of people just came, "You're saving my life," and I'm like, of course, part of me is going, okay, and the other part is, I'm happy to be of service.
Yeah.
Because this just documentary had to be made, and what's interesting is in it, Shirley Manson, who's like the richest rock star any of us knows, has some of the darkest situation, because she gets to this position when none of the people she respected did. And then they're telling her, you're not selling 20 million records is not enough. You're not sexy enough. You're not hard enough. You're not dangerous. And it's like total brutality on that. So, I mean, the documentary deals with people whom nobody's ever heard of, and people that haven't. It doesn't matter. The situations are often the same. Hell is in the home. How do you break out of that? Through music and art and writing. The salve to the universal wound is what we try to do. So thank you for applying so much of your time to helping other people, because your music might be considered harmful to some. Like mine.
When one of the first things I got when the album came out, and it was like in days of like MySpace and shit, and so I got like a MySpace message, and it was a guy, and he said, "Hey, my mom's a psychology professor, and she is using, I think it was the third track from your album, as an example of disordered thought and psychosis." And I was like, well, thank you.
Kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Well, how did she even hear your record?
Through her son. Yeah. So he was the one. He was the one telling me. He's like, she heard this, and she said, "Wait a minute, this is a perfect example of completely disorganized thought."
Which is amazing, because, by the way, call it what you will, you're putting whatever it is, call it that or not, into a place where then it comes out of you, hopefully goes into others, whatever the effect is. One of the best reviews I ever had, I never met the woman. I don't even know how she reviewed one of my spoken word records called Memory and Madness, which is, trauma-based. and she compared it to Greek mythology. She was a psychotherapist, and I'm like, this is the best review. I learned a lot from what she wrote about my work. The same way, like disordered thought. Well, I might have it, but I didn't know that's what that song was.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're doing something really sincere, a lot of times you can relate it to a universal human experience, right? And some of those myths are like the best embodiment of some of this stuff.
Because it's all recycled emotional disability or trauma or bloodshed. I mean, the thing is, nothing is new in the psychoactive imagination. I mean, it's all been there. And again, I think that so much of our problems are recycled in our blood, in our DNA, in our molecular memory. And we can't even divorce ourselves from that because we don't even know the real history of our familial problems, which go back to the cave. Hello. We're a happy family. No, we're not. You choose your happy family. Yes, we do.
So do you perform with any other musicians or ensembles or spin-off things, or are you just purely
right now? It's Yowie, Yowie, Yowie.
Okay.
And honestly, I really like it that way. I mean, I have done other stuff.
Sure.
There was a time when I was trying really hard to get like a local version of Yowie as well as long distance versions. If for no other reason that I love to play shows, that's
Sure.
like, and also I really like writing better with the person in the room.
Sure.
Like not by a little bit, by a whole hell of a lot. But man, St. Louis is tapped out. I had one guy who was absolutely amazing on guitar, and we could not find a third person no matter what we did. We tried every person we could think of. We were like, well, widen it to Chicago. They could come in on a weekend. Like we went like
Right.
as far out as we could, and we just couldn't get it off the road or on the road, I guess. Yep. So it sucked.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the burden of being such a specialist and being so unique in what you do, though. I mean, you have to find the like-minded. You have to find, I mean, this is what's so great about me working with Tim is no matter what kind of project we do, whether it's just dumbass rock and roll or satanic symphonic avant-garde, improv with spoken word, like he gets it. He's there. I'm very fortunate for that. And most of the people I've worked with, I've been very lucky with the collaborations I've done. But then again, my shit is a lot simpler musically, intense emotionally, but I've always been very lucky and fortunate, But I've also moved around. I mean, I've often moved for working with certain people too. It's hard when you're, what I'm saying? I've imported people that I needed to work with. But if you can't find them, they might not be out there.
Yeah, well, if Tim hops a train and moves to Saskatchewan, you're not going to find another Tim very easy.
I mean, I was just looking at real estate in Saskatoon.
I was looking in Lackawanna
or Regina. No, is that in Saskatchewan?
Yeah, but the thing about it is, like, you did a record with somebody in Australia. I mean, a lot of the performances I've been doing the last few years are with Mark Hurtado, who lives in Montpellier. We go to Europe. We do this tribute to the group Suicide. Doesn't matter where they live. You just have to find a way to make it happen, depending on whether you want to record it and perform it, or just whatever it is. I mean,
But now there could be advantages. Are you touring Australia?
There is talk of that. Yeah, like so.
Best place to go.
You should. You should.
Been there many times. Best place to go.
Now
it's a long haul, but
I was about to say the only issue we have is, he's telling us basically get ready for like an 8-hour drive to each show or whatever, because
we can fly to shows, but I guess if you have a specific back line like you guys do,
you could go pet a koala, just don't box a kangaroo.
As long as
the food is great, the people are great, the clubs are great, the weather go when it's not boiling hot.
But every animal wants to eat you. Every animal wants to fuck you. Well, don't go to Darwin. I mean, it looks beautiful, but then you have a box jellyfish and then a cassowary and then you have a saltwater croc.
Tim did not catch chlamydia, but all of the koalas have it. He did pet one though.
Well, the koala park Brisbane wall of fame is one of the most eclectic, bizarre things I've ever seen. It's like Studs Terkel next to Marilyn Manson. It's just like, everyone wants to fucking pet one of those things.
A lot of great music came out of Australia, and it's one of my favorite places to go. I'll take the 16 or 20-hour flight. I'll zone out. I don't care. I have to go back again soon. Every few years, I go with something. Yeah, Tim and I have gone there a few times. We'll be going back.
So,
yeah.
All right. So you have a new album coming out.
Yeah. Yes.
And if it takes that long to make it, I guess you're gonna milk it as much as you can, right? So you got to like do the world tour. Japan. I mean, you guys, come on. You guys have to do Japan, right?
Would love to. Never been there. Keep hearing that it's great.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking about your music and how there's a crossover with a lot of the kind of like technical, weird, instrumental, avant, whatever noise, Japanese bands. So it's kind of like a match made in whatever. But
by the way, I got to say something about an album taking 8 years, because Hubert Selby wrote Last Exit to Brooklyn twice. Took him 7 years. So he only wrote 4 good books, 3 whatever. He lived to be 70 something. It ain't about the amount. It's about you're absolutely happy with the finished product, and it lives up to the expectations you had for yourself.
Yeah. I hope other people like it. Shit.
Hey, really? I don't fucking care if anybody else likes it. If I'm happy with it, that's what counts. If you're happy with it, that's what counts.
Well,
there's other weirdos out there. Let's face it.
Let me ask you, and are you satisfied with are you one of these persons that's constantly searching and just looking for something, or do you actually have a real sense of completion that you can honestly say you're very satisfied with?
Yeah, I'm absolutely satisfied with it. Like, I'm happy with how it turned out. Yeah, I am. Like, we did a lot of shit different this time. We had someone in France mix it and master it.
Interesting.
Yeah, like so everything was long distance on this, which was just, that whole thing was different. I was never in the room giving notes about the mix. Everything was email, We had like a shared Google spreadsheet with and 75 notes of like, at 118 we need to goose the kick drum or whatever, and then like back and forth and back and forth.
Well, that's maniacal precisionism, though. I mean, okay, we did that one note. I got one. I'm an imperfectionist, but I understand.
No, I think it turned out pretty good.
That's fantastic, because you know what? After 8 fucking years, you better be happy with it, honey. Come
on. I got kind of no choice. I'll have to fucking pretend I'm happy with it if I wasn't.
Oh, yep. So, all right. So you're going to milk it. In other words, you're going to tour definitely North America.
Yeah.
And Europe, but maybe you can do Australia, Japan, South America. I don't know.
Do you have an agent in Australia? Because we have a great agent.
No, send that person my way.
Okay, yeah, I will send this. I will send this podcast to him. Yeah.
And Tim, send me your Japanese agent, or is that just your?
I don't have one. I haven't been in years.
I don't have an agent.
Yeah,
but I have Japanese musicians that book me. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that separately because
got to go to Australia. It's really even. I think Europe is great, but Australia, it really is the place to go. Bring a lot of merch. Actually, make a lot of merch there. Then
I'm sold. Yeah, all this tariff shit's fucking up everything. Have it made in country is what you got to do now. It looks like. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have not made hard copies of something since the new tariff thing. Oh boy. Okay. All right.
Well, I'm lucky. I have a label in Italy that has been reprinting a lot of my stuff on vinyl, and since I'm in Europe a lot, that's great. But I have like another live Suicide tribute album coming out. I just get it printed wherever we can. Vinyl is the way to go. But I sell candles, flasks, posters. I mean, because let's face it, you gotta give the people what they want, and you gotta take what's in their pocket. Come on.
Yeah. So what about, I mean, does that brewery that had concerts still exist in St. Louis, or is that gone?
In a very sad version of itself, right? So there was really one guy, his name is Brett Underwood, who did all the cool stuff at that place. And they got new management and a bunch of bullshit happened and so it's still there, but and they're starting to do some shows, but it's not like what it was, right? So Lydia, it's called Schlafly Tap Room. And it used to be a good deal because they would just be like, here's the deal, $300 for the night. You guys do whatever. And usually what we would do is get two local bands that would be like, we'll play for free. We want to bring this awesome band into town and they're going to get a $300 guarantee. And then, some other shit and hopefully sell some merch. And it was like a great way to get some bands through that otherwise would have been like, door deal on a Thursday. What's it going to happen? Or whatever.
Well, and anybody that thinks they have rock and roll or musical dreams about touring, they got to realize not only how hard it is, how underpaid it is, how brutal it is. I say keep it in your garage. Don't even go for it. Don't even think it's going to be. We're road dogs. It's what we do. Tim Dahl and I are road dogs. It's not for everyone. I do not endorse it for anybody else. I say, don't do it if you can avoid it. Don't do it. It's not glamorous at all.
Has Yowie ever been attacked on stage because of just someone just can't handle what you do?
Not physically. No, we've had like people have fits for sure. We've had people
and then they become your patients. They have fits and then they can become your patients.
Was a person's name Fitz? All right.
No, no, they for real, one person kept screaming at us that this is not music, and stuff like that. And I was like,
well, what did they think it was? An assault?
Yeah. I was like, I love that. Please keep screaming that while we play this.
And I'm sure it's never been a woman that screamed anything, because in all of my years playing, once I had an obstreperous female.
No. I come on. I had Peter Evans and I were playing in Germany once, and there was a woman had a nervous breakdown, and she started screaming. She screamed so much that everything went silent, and she booked it from the back of the room, ran on stage, and just started manically unplugging everything and crying.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really insane.
That sounds like a great show.
Yeah, kind of.
You guys must have really sucked that night.
Well, I mean,
you must have been so good she couldn't stand it. She lost her mind.
I think other things were going on. I really do.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
A comment about that.
Yes.
Anyway.
But all right, but it's so. I mean, what I'm getting at though is having a reaction that like that's kind of a success as opposed to apathy. That's the worst.
Yeah.
100%, right? That's kind of been my thing ever since we actually got back to Europe, which is we're doing weird shit. There's no doubt about that.
It's not for everybody. And you know what? You don't like it, get the fuck out of here. Come on.
Yeah, sure. But a thing that I didn't realize until we got over there is that for however many years, I have been playing to groups of dudes standing still with their arms folded, like looking at me like they're like trying to figure out a math problem in their head or something. And so when we started playing in front of people that would like feel compelled to like move because of what we were doing, I was like, now this is what we need. So we started to kind of adjust our writing style to try to see if we could induce a sense of movement in the audience, because it's just a much better experience for all of us.
Well, I always look at it this way, though, Shawn. It's like, you're impregnating people. So I prefer silence. Do not interrupt. I don't want applause. I know what I'm doing, and just let me infest and infect you, because that's what we're doing, is we're actually blessing them with a curative virus.
Well, it's funny you say that, Shawn, because and as opposed to other technical bands that are really thinking very metrically, and even not that I'm going to connect it with Keith Richards, but even he talks about the influence for the American music with basically African influence, like the black influence, and how they used to call it swing. There's that kind of pendulum movement between the notes, even if it's silence, but there's a sway, even if it's complicated, in between all those things that makes the difference between moves people as opposed to some fucking metric. I don't know how you describe it. Just
I would like to,
Pointillism
and
or something.
I prefer to do, especially with spoken word, music that paralyzes and hypnotizes. And just stay there, be quiet, let me do my job. If I had a whole room of people screaming, oh, I'd be furious. I'm like, shut the motherfucker up. Not what I'm there for. I'm not there for their response. I'm just not. But that's me.
What about, if movements inspire you to write, what about this hybrid of a mosh pit and these kind of like interpretive dance swaying bodies at the same time, which that does exist already, I guess. But yeah,
it kind of, I mean, that's like kind of what happens, right? Because a lot of times the music changes a lot, and when people try to predict what's going to happen and then move their body to it, and then it changes. And then that's what makes that kind of fun when that's happening, is that they have to keep like adjusting and adapting. And like they're very, I guess what I like about it maybe the most is that they're very directly involved with like feeling and paying
plugged
attention
into
to
it.
music.
They're plugged in.
That's a good way of saying it.
Yeah.
I have to say, I do like shaking a tail feather to some non-white boy crack dick music, but to alt groovy improv that nobody else would ever think of dancing to. That is something I must say, kind of, of course, improvisational dance. I do enjoy that. Of course, I'd like to dance to soul music too. You won't catch me dancing on stage. That's for amateurs.
Well, so do you listen to St. Louis rap?
No.
All right, done.
Zero. I know that it exists, but I'm pretty picky about shit. It's not that I don't like any rap. I like.
Well, you don't have that much time to even listen to music, do you? When you're working 11 hours, you come home, you're playing the drums, you're taking a shower. You got to listen to something in the shower?
It's in the shower and driving to and from work is mostly when I do my listening. Yeah. 30 minutes each way of the drive, and however long it takes me to wash my ass in the morning. Yep.
Wait, so you work 11-hour shift. Okay, so that's, but how many days a week do you work?
It's supposed to be 4, but it's really more like 5 now. Yeah.
Well, you're in demand, I guess. All right.
Yeah.
You got to take
no more so than now, I bet. I mean,
these are fucked up times, my friend.
Yeah. People are struggling. I get it.
People, you know what? I think that why therapy is so important is because go dump on somebody you're paying to listen to you and not the person you live with or your best friend or the next door neighbor or the dog. Don't kick it. Go and actually go someplace. I don't even want to say safe. I want to say someplace else to just let it out. I think it's very important. And I mean, anybody that I know that's either gone to NAAA or therapy, it benefits them because it's better than dumping all this shit on the head of the person you live with, you love, you fuck, you live next door to, or your dog or cat. Well, they can't complain, but
don't shit where you eat, says Liv.
Well, that's kind of a thing. Speaking of eating, St. Louis barbecue, do you like it?
Oh yeah.
No? Yeah, I don't feel that it's like super special, frankly.
How about your barbecue? How about your barbecue, Shawn? Is that special? You know, Tim Dahl is also a grill master.
Oh, I did not know that.
I saw that grill in your backyard, did I not?
Yeah, I'm an amateur at best. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm not a connoisseur of it, honestly. Like, people get like in pitched fights about Kansas City barbecue or St. Louis barbecue, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I like them.
Whatever.
They're good.
What do you like to eat, Shawn? Okay, you don't have much time to even decide, but what do you like to eat? What do you like to eat?
What the fuck do I eat? I am trying to fucking lose weight, so I'm eating a lot of like bullshit. Fucking complete fucking bullshit. I'm eating a lot of celery and cucumbers and shit.
That's good.
As you can tell, this is against my will. But no, I'm
miso tofu, really good. Come on.
Is that
broccoli with lemon and cottage cheese? Come on, really good.
Is that for cosmetic vanity reasons, or does your doctor say like you gotta do X, Y, and Z because it's not? You're getting older, kind of thing.
You haven't noticed how vain I am, Tim? Come on.
Well, I don't know.
You got a lot of competition with this podcast, Sonny. Come on.
No, man, I'm just a cheapskate and I don't want to buy bigger pants. I'm like, fuck this. I'm
that's
not
a-
going to go
that's a
buy
good-
bigger pants. Fuck
that's
this.
a-
I'm going to
that's a
just
good
lose some
answer.
weight. I'm going
That's
to
a good-
eat some
that's-
celery, spitefully, full of rage until I fucking can fit back into my pants again. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yes, rage against the meat.
Yes.
Nice. I say just don't eat anything white unless it's fish or cottage cheese because it's the white shit that's bad. The darker anything is, the better it is for you usually. Hello, blueberries, blackberries, of course, pesticides, whatever. I'm just saying.
Although
Yeah.
I do have to say, pretty good fucking Mexican food in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I've had some really good fucking Mexican food in St. Louis.
We have good Mexican and good Italian food in St. Louis, and a lot of people are
Well,
surprised.
that ain't gonna help you. That ain't gonna help your waistline.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm kind of handicapped here with this shit. It's true.
I could tell you a good pasta concept, for instance. A little
Okay.
pasta, but how about with some chickpeas or cannelloni beans? More beans than pasta. Little Parmesan, basil, good to go. A little carb, you need a little carb, but it's the beans that do it. And it's certainly better than rice and beans. Actually, it's not as bad as it sounds. It's actually rice and beans is good for you, actually.
I consider that an
Skip.
invitation to dinner. I'm on my
Yeah,
way.
well, I think it's so. When you
Come on
to New
over.
York- well, you're in New York. When did I see you? Like, was it 6 months ago? A year ago? I can't remember when that was.
It was in February.
Okay, yeah, six months ago. All right, so when's the? I guess.
February of the previous year, 18 months ago.
Oh, really? It was that long ago?
Yeah.
Holy shit, time goes fast. All right, so,
Yeah.
what are your plans for touring?
When-
You're not
Yeah,
having them yet?
when does touring start?
First show is October 22nd in Brussels, Belgium.
Magazine 4?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
they have
place.
they have a new venue, which I haven't been to the
Excellent.
new venue, but they
Oh,
got
can't wait. Yeah, me
funding.
too.
It's supposed
Can't
to be
wait to go.
great. Yeah,
Send our regards. We love that place and those people.
and they love you.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that's kind of
Very cool
Brussels
place.
is one of those music towns I just love to play. Yeah,
It's awesome. Yeah. And like, that's where I kind of feel like I was like, man, some places have got this shit figured out, right? So like you go there and they're like, hey, the band is here. And then they're like,
Here's
oh,
the
good.
food.
Well,
Here's the
dinner's
sound.
going to
The
be
sound-
ready. And then they're like,
sound
here's
is
where you'll be
great.
staying.
Y-
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
there's a washing machine and shit. I'm like, holy fuck. So like you guys figured out that when musicians come to town, like they have like they're human beings that have like needs. It's not like here's 2 drink tickets and I hope you
Yeah.
find a fucking floor to sleep on next to some cat shit and some used needles or something. Like
Exactly.
it's like
No, they do it right. They
They
do it
do it
right.
right.
they do it
And-
right.
And
How
it's
long
like,
is your
why-
European tour
why
going to
can't we
be
figure
then?
that out?
I know.
3 weeks, about 3 weeks.
That's solid.
That's about the max you can do at this point anyway. So that's going to be fun.
well, you know
Perfect
who,
season.
you know
Oh,
who
yeah.
hasn't figured it out but has to deal with musicians literally every day?
Who?
The fucking airline industry.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's a whole other thing. But once
Yeah.
you're there,
Well,
you're starting in Brussels. You got 3 fucking weeks. You're going to cover a lot
It'll
of
be grand.
ground. Yeah,
yes.
awesome.
We only
gonna
have
be grand.
I think we have 1 day off. Yep.
that's the it is. We're
So you're
road
back,
dogging
you're
it,
back
baby.
for just in time for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah. So I'm all right. There might be a little. Send me your schedule. So I'm gonna be in Europe at least till November 2nd. So we might cross over. We'll see.
Oh shit. Yeah, we'll be
Yeah.
there at the same time.
Yeah, a couple days.
Well,
We'll see.
it's been grand speaking to you. Shawn O'Connor, the new Yowie album is coming out. Is it out now? Any day?
October 3rd.
October
3rd.
3rd.
On Skin Graft or what?
Yep. Skin Graft Records.
Skin
it's called.
Graft, and then the tour shall follow. And it's been grand seeing you again, my friend.
Same here. Come back anytime.
Thanks for the music and thanks for your dedication to other people's mental health. It's very important.
Hey, thank you. It's great to see you guys again.
Yep. Take care, brother.
Take care.
All right.
Have a good
Okay.
one. Bye-bye.
Bye.